Hi, family. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bella Sylvia. I'm the convener of the Push Ministry. Let us pray until something happens. And I want to extend my hand of invitation to invite you to join the community of people that prays. Listen, prayer works and prayer changes a lot of things. I know you'll be wondering why am I wearing a Christmas cap when it's not yet Christmas. Anyways, this cap was a gift from my younger sister when I traveled to Nigeria. And then I was leaving. She said, "Sister, I want to make something for you that you will take to South Africa. I heard that place is cold, so it's going to be like a head warmer." I thought to myself, why can't she just buy a head warmer for me? What is it that she wants to make it herself? And trust me, it took my sister, I think, 3 days to the day I came. She was busy making this beautiful head warmer. So the very day I was leaving to South Africa, I remember packing my bags and she had given me this cap yesterday, the previous night. So I was like, yes, I'm going to wear it when I'm traveling. I know, just to make her happy. I was in a hurry to leave the house. So I left the cap on I think on my table or in my wardrobe. So I don't know how she got to know that this thing is in my wardrobe. She ran and then she brought it. She said, "You forgot your cap. Remember, they will be cold." And I laughed. So I took it. Trust me, I wore this cap just the way it is. We- I wore it from the airport. I wore it to the airport. When I got to the plane, I put it in my bag because I was like, "Ish, can I bring out this thing?" Well, I know it was made with love. So today, while I was like cleaning the house, sorting out things that I want to throw out, apparently I had already dropped these things and the stuffs like I want to throw out. But when I brought it out, I was like, oh no, I can't. I know that she spent 3 days to make this just to make sure that I have a gift. She gives me something too. So whatever it will take, I'm never gonna throw this away, no matter how funny and rugged, and no matter how it looks. I mean, it's a gift from my baby sister, so I'm happy to have it. If you see me wear it, eh, don't question me. It's too small. Can't even enter my head. I will wear it to say thank you more. Please, guys, what do you think about my sister's work? Put your suggestion, your opinion in the comment section. But it's fine. In case you want something like this, just know that it's going to be like this. Don't expect it to be perfect. You want something like this, you can let me know. Let me contact her for you. So she makes for you and send. At least it's love. But it's fine. Yeah. Welcome to our Bible study section. Don't mind me. I just wanted to put that out there because I know some people will be wondering, what is she wearing? I'm wearing a gift. So today I want to talk about one of the women in the Bible. For those who don't know, or those who have been, if you are new to this channel, this is a faith channel, this is a purpose channel, and this is a channel where you grow. So if you are interested in any of these three, faith, purpose, and growth, then this is where to be. So do so by subscribing to this channel. Click that notification button so that you can get notified anytime I upload new videos. So if you have been following, you discover that we are studying the women in the Bible. It's now a series. If you have not watched any of them, I would recommend that you click the description box. There's a link that can take you to all the videos. You can just watch them one after the other. Trust me, don't say I know about the women in the Bible. There are some important lessons that you don't know about, and that is why you need to watch all the videos about the women in the Bible. It's going to help you as a woman. Don't say, is it not Sarah? Is it not Deborah? Is it not this? Yes, you may know their names, but in this Bible studies that I'm doing, by the help of the Holy Spirit, God has been able to reveal to me a lot of things that most people will normally overlook. So that is why I want to encourage you to make sure that you go to the description box and watch all the playlists, watch all the videos of the women in the Bible. There is a lesson for you. You are going to come back here and thank me. And today, we're going to be talking about one of the most amazing queens in the Bible. I call her amazing because she's a woman that had to, undergo molestation and had to mourn, had to, you know, be considered as some people called her seductress. But if you look at it in a different light, you'll discover that this person is absolutely innocent of any accusation that people may throw at her. And that is why we are going to talk about her. And she's no other person than Queen Bethsheba. Yes, Queen Bethsheba. People will be like, why are you calling her queen? Duh. She is the wife. She was the wife of David. So she's a queen. So she's Queen Bethsheba. And the meaning of Bethsheba is daughter of oath. I want to establish that. Daughter of oath. So what is an oath? An oath is a covenant. So apparently her name means daughter of a covenant. Covenant of what? It's covenant of God. So it just shows that God's eyes was on Bethsheba and God loves Bethsheba. She was never a seductress. She was just a victim of molestation. So let's discuss. You're going to find the story in the book of 2 Samuel chapter 11 from verse 1 to 12. You read down up until chapter 2. You just go down and then you read. It's a long read, but I've done the reading for you. So we're just going to talk about the whole story, the juicy part of the stories. This cough is making me feel somehow. Anyway, so Bathsheba, she was married to a soldier called Ura. So Ura was out for battles because at that time the Israelites were fighting the Ammonites. So they were in war, right? So soldiers were all sent out to defeat, to fight, to protect their territory. While the women are left at home and kids and some other men that are not in the battlefield. Apparently David, who's the king, was at home waiting to hear the news that is going on in the battlefield. So while he was at home, the Bible said that he was restless, and nobody knows the reason why he was restless. One of the things I'm thinking now, studying the Bible, is that maybe he was restless because they were not getting victory from the war. So he was like, what's going on and all of that. Or I'm thinking in my head, maybe he was sex deprived. I might be talking out of context now, but I'm just saying to say, okay, he was married to Micah, and the Bible said that when he danced, that the Bible said that Micah's womb was shut. Another story I read said that from that day he did not go to sleep with Micah. Apparently he had loved Michael before. Like Michael was his love of his life, not until when all the whole drama and everything happened and the love just went down the drain. So every other woman that he had after Micah was wives that he got when he conquers a territory and the rest. So he just take the wife as his as his. That's part of how they do this their word thing. They conquer you, they take your wife because they cannot kill your wife. So they'll just fight, and then so he takes most of the wives he had. He was never the kind was never a wife that he like actually paid the bride price for. So the only person that he actually did ceremony and they celebrated was Micah. So every other wife he had was taken, 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 taken. So like David was a taker, all right, and it has been in his blood. So then while he was pacing about, up and down, something was wrong with him. Nobody knew what was wrong with him, but this is me thinking maybe it was sex deprived. Like his pride was too much. He had never had, he had missed having, proper sex and all of that. So while he was pacing up and down, he saw this woman.
I think this thing is too tight. See, I'm going to remove this. It's too tight. But that does not stop you from ordering from my kid sister if you want to buy. It's too tight. My head is just doing me somehow. Zig, zig, zig. It's just ish. Okay. Okay, so let's go back. So that was where David saw Bethsheba. Now, Bethsheba was taking her bath after her menstrual cycle. So obviously for 7 days she had gone through her menstruation. So it is a tradition that after your menstruation you would bath, cleanse yourself so that you will not carry disease. So it's called like a ritual that you do after your 7 days of menstruation. And that kind of ritual, you want to do a lot of things. Put what do they call that thing again? I've forgotten. There's this oil they use to put flour, salt, just to cleanse you, just to purify yourself and all of that. So she was having that bath, the ritual, the bathing, the ritual bath, when David saw her. And David said, Immediately David saw her, his body arose. Everything in him was like, I must get this person. So I had to remove my mic because it's dead. So in case you see that there's a difference in the audio, just know that the mic off. So I had to change and let's improvise. So now I'm using the phone audio. So when David saw Bethsheba, everything in him just arose. He said, you know what? I must take this one. Because David is always a taker. Everything he will take. And that was why he said he sent his servant to who? He asked them, who is that lady that just took a bath and went to? Who's that person? And then they said, oh, it's the wife of Ora, the one that is in the battlefield. And I said, okay, call her for me. And then he called her in. And that was how David had its way with Bethsheba. For me, I will call it rape because it's not her consent. She, Bethsheba, she was married, happily married. And because David is a king, there's no way she can fight him. I mean, there's no way, because she will be like, if I don't give in, he's going to kill me. So she gave in to David. And when David had his way already, he now asked her to go, and all of that. And then decided to make a plan to bring the husband to come and sleep with her. So he invited the husband, Ora, to come. So they eat, drank. At the point, he made him to be drunk. So in his mind now, he thought, okay, maybe when he's drunk now, he will not go back to the war, to the forefront to fight. Rather, he will go back home. But this man, he's a man of integrity, a man that will protect his nation, a man that will fight to the core. He didn't even allow the intoxication he had in the drink, to stop him. Rather, he even went to the battle drunk. When David realized that this man, he did not go back to his house, to his wife's house to go and sleep. His fear now is that when Bethsheba gives birth, and knowingly fully well that she just finished her menstrual cycle, the man will suspect and ask who owns the child because he had not slept with her. So in order for David to cover his sin, because he did not want the people to know that he has committed an adultery, he decided to plot. And then he wrote a letter and called Ura, said, come take a letter. He wrote a letter telling the captain of the team of Ura's team, who is all this Bible name, I don't know how they pronounce it. Jabon. Jaob. You guys will find your answer. Job. I don't know. So he told, stating that he should place Ura in the forefront where he will be killed. And the disturbing part of this thing is that Ura did not even open that later. That is how trustworthy and loyal he was to David. God. Because if he had opened that later, he wouldn't have gone to that battle. He would have run for his life. He would have disappeared. Like you would not even see him. He might just sneak in and take his wife and say, let's go. The king wants to kill me and I don't know the reason why. And you know women, they will want to cover the secret, not to tell him the reason. And they'll say, let them run away. But because Ura was a man of integrity and honesty, and he was so loyal, he didn't open the letter. Because it is a taboo for you to alter a seal of a king. Like it means... So he took it straight to the captain. The captain opened it. When the captain saw it, he's like, okay. He quickly did as the king said, placed Ura where he will be killed. And of course, he was killed. So when the news got to David that Ura has been killed, he told the soldiers to continue fighting, encourage them to, keep working, that they are doing well. I mean, his mission was accomplished. Then the news got to Bethshabe that her husband has been killed. She cried. She cried and then she mourned her husband. So after the mourning, David said, okay, you know what? I mean, the husband is dead. Now let me continue with... Now let me not be sinning again. Let me acquire you. So that was how he acquired. I will call it acquired. King David, you too do. That was how he now married Bethsheba. Mind you, Bethsheba is the 8th wife. The last wife of David, Bethsheba, the 8th wife. So it was after Bethsheba, David did not marry again. He did not acquire any wives again. He did not touch any woman. It just Bethsheba was his last wife. So the Bible now said that when the prophet Nathan visited the palace, then he called David and gave David a parable. And then he said, there's this rich man that has all the sheep, all the cows, all the ram, everything was rich. And there's another poor man that just only had one lamb. And that lamb was his best friend, was his all and all. They eat together, they play together. It was everything that that old poor man had. So one day a visitor of the rich man came to the city. He did not inform the rich man that he was coming. He was just an August visitor. So when he came, the rich man thought to himself, I did not plan for this visit, but anyway, I'm going to prepare a feast for my visitor. So instead of killing one of his ram and goats and sheep or cow or anything, he went to take the one lamb that poor man had and killed it and gave his servant. Phew! When David heard this, he was furious. He was like, who is that man? We have to kill that man right away. He is so wicked. How dare him do such a thing? You know, the Nathan said, that man is you. David was shocked. How is it me? He said, it's you because you killed Ura and took his wife. Where the Lord has given you everything, all the wives you have. Imagine 7 wives is not enough for you. You now go and carry just one man. His only wife that he has, innocent. So they said the woman is innocent. You go and collect it and you kill that innocent man. Say, for that, sword will not depart from your kingdom. Say, for that, say sword. It will not leave your household though. There will be fighting. There will be no peace. That is what God has said. When David heard this, he was bitter of himself. He was so sorry. He started to beg God, ask for forgiveness. You know, he repented of his sin completely. Now he saw that what he actually did was wrong. You know, sometimes people do things and they think in their eyes, they'll call it strategy, they'll call it wisdom. But in the eyes of God, it's wickedness. In the eyes of God, it's total wickedness. Now imagine possessing, acquiring a woman, not even with her own will. He had his way on her. Like she did not, it's not as if she was married to him. No, she was still married to somebody when David had his way with Bethsheba. And I want to believe when that act was going on, she was crying. Because if you look at the parable of Nathan, he said the lamb was an innocent lamb that you killed. Imagine the pain of that lamb, and then imagine the pain of the owner of the lamb. This is so painful. David really did a lot. So David repented, God forgave him. And that child he had with Bethsheba, the child died of an unknown illness. That's another consequences of the act. And that act actually started, that David's act of adultery was what started his downfall in the throne. That was the starting point of his decline as a king. And so Bethsheba, who was in the midst of all of these things, innocent woman, was married, trying to wait for her husband to come from battle, they can have nice time together. Actually call her a very strong woman, because she had to go through what she went through. It's not everybody, let me tell you, it's not everybody that desired to be a queen. It wasn't in her. She did not desire it. She was happily married with Orah. She was happily married, and then David came to have his way with her. So imagine mourning your husband, mourning your child at the same time, and they're living in a house of a man who actually committed all of those atrocities. I feel like God was actually looking out for Bethsheba in a way. Her name means daughter of covenant. So if you look at the story, you discover that at the end of it, she gave birth to 3 sons or 4 sons. I just can't remember now. I think it's 3 or 4. In those 3 sons, one, Solomon, became the king that ruled after David. Then another of her son, Nathan, is the lineage of Jesus Christ. So she actually was a covenant child, right? And everything that happened was just how God has destined it to happen, or maybe was just how it was. It just happened. It might not be the way God destined it, but because she's a covenant child, right? Because she is a covenant child, she's the covenant daughter of oath, God still had to make a way to fulfill his promise over her life. So it's either God has said that Bethsheba's child will be the lineage where Jesus will be born, right? Yes, that's possible, because for all of those things to happen is just to say that God has already destined it to be in that form. So Solomon became the king. Nathan was the lineage of Jesus Christ. One of the things I like about Bethsheba is that she raised good children. If you look at all the children that came for David, all the children he had from all the wives, you discover that they all had one or two issues. All of them were having problems. Sword did not depart from his house. In fact, in his house, he have a brother molested his sister. Just the same thing David did to someone else happened to his own daughter, Tamar. And because of that, Absalom, who is the sister to Tamar, had to kill Ammon, the one who committed the crime. Even in that crime, David did not even know what to say, because he just felt like God was punishing him because of his sin with Bethsheba. And the reason why most people keep asking, why did God call David the man after his own heart? The reason is that for every sin David committed, he never repeated it again. After he committed that sin of adultery with Bethsheba. That was the last time he ever tried such. In fact, that was, and he lived with it to the very day he died, the regret of his action. Even though God has forgiven him, because God told Nathan came back to say, God has forgiven you of your sins. After, the child died, cleansing with the rituals and all of those things, Nathan came back to say, God has forgiven you, and has found favor in your son Solomon. So it goes to say that Bethsheba was a good woman. She raised a good child, good children. She was wise. She wasn't like every other wives who were just there because they were taken and they are bittered. They were taken as wives. Some of them did not like it. Some of them did not like the situation of how they were acquired or how they were married. Someone like Micah was legally, properly wedded. Nice wedding was done for Micah. Someone for like Abigail, she lost her husband. Then David had to marry her in order to compensate her, or I don't know, because she's a good woman, and I don't know if Abigail liked the marriage. All right, I don't know, but she had child for him. She had a child for David, and so the only person, the rest of the wives were the wives he got from the war. So you married a woman that you killed her husband. Hello. I don't understand. Where would the love come from? Do you understand me? Like she's literally a slave to you. Do you get me? So the only woman that was like marry was Micah, who was termed barren, and then Abigail, who actually just the husband died not because David did anything. Okay, and then Bethsheba, he killed the husband to acquire her as a wife. So Bethsheba mentality is different from every other mentality, and that was why the seed she bought for David, she raised him wisely. She channeled their hearts to God and made them, people that carried lineage of grace. We saw that Solomon was the wisest and the richest of all. It has to come from a woman who is also wise. So Bethsheba was a wise woman. The why I'm emphasizing that she's wise is because of the product, the children, how she raised them. You see, you know a child that is raised with love and understanding and wisdom by their actions. Okay, by their actions. Solomon said, I don't want riches, I just want to know I want to have knowledge, to know how to govern my people, to know how to understand them. It came from a person who, the mother Bethsheba, did a great job. She's a good woman. And I just want to put this out there that some people some men are destined to marry 2-4 wives. It is their lineage. But when the wives now begin to fight themselves, become jealous, envious, who will take the throne, bitter, and the rest, trying to get their husband's attention, Now they miss the whole thing. They miss that the seed that is coming from them, they are supposed to nurture them with love. It could be that there is a purpose, there is a plan for that seed. You don't have to instill bitterness. You don't have to instill wickedness. Instill love in that child. So some person will be like, any woman that snatches a person's husband, the second wife, it does not used to last. Sometimes, truly, it does not used to last. But there are some second wives that are actually good wives. I don't know how to say it. Compared to the first wife. And no matter how you pray for the second wife to die, she's not going to die if she's destined to be the second wife of that man. And if she's a good woman, she's not going to die. She's going to fulfill her purpose on this earth. So I'm saying this to women like us, or we women. If you find yourself, I'm not saying, if you find yourself in a situation of where your home is divided, your husband have 2 wives and all of that, I understand how traumatizing this can literally be. Nobody's praying for it, but when it happens, how do you carry it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to your children? What are you going to do to your husband? Are you going to kill your husband? Are you going to instill bitterness for your children to say, fight the second one? God is going to look at your heart posture. I heard of a story of a woman who they married, the the husband mistakenly, went to sleep with another person and got her pregnant. And then the woman said, you know what, I'm not going to fight.